right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. And let's pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they that testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. And if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, Mother Shalom. Shalom, Rev, man. Let's get this Hosea 2 and 14, man. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her vineyards from thence, the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, as in the day. Shalom, Brother Dave, man. As in the day of when she came up out of the land of Mizraim. Shalom, Sister man. And it shall be at that day, saith Yahuwah, you shall call me Ishi, and shall call me no more Baalah. For I will take away the names of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall be no more remembered by their name. And at that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of Shamayim, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth you unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth you unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercies. I will even betroth you unto me in faithfulness, and you shall know Yahuwah. And it shall come to pass in that day I will hear, saith Yahuwah, I will hear the Shamayim, and they shall hear the Arats, and the earth shall hear the corn and the wine and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that have not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, you are my people, and they shall say, you are my Elohim. So what was we on, right? Go ahead and read verse 18, chapter 2 again.
And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of Shamayim, and with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow and the sword in the battle out of the Arats, and will make them to lie down safely.
Tell them what battle means, man. I think we closed with some of this stuff on Wednesday, man.
That's Milkamah.
That's war. Mm-hmm. So I just want you to hear that. That's war. Milkamah, war, battle, fighting. He said that's going to stop. So I also know we mentioned, go to hit this here. Shalom, Jay, because it was requested. Jeremiah chapter 30. Again, I know we ran it down. Now give it some attention. Jeremiah 30 and 1. Now this particular passage is referring to Yasharal being restored. This is what this chapter is about. Listen to what he says.
The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah saying,
what did he say?
Thus speak Yahuwah Elohim Yasharal, saying, write you all the words that I have spoken unto you in a book.
Write them where?
In a book.
For lo.
The days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yasharal and Yehudah, saith Yahuwah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it.
And these
are the words that Yahuwah spake concerning Yasharal and concerning Yehudah.
Now you have to understand something, right? This is before they go to Babylon. They didn't have any trembling or fear coming out of Babylon. And let's establish that so that you know that it very well can't be referring to the time coming out of Babylon, because you have to look and see how did they come out of Babylon. So let's come over here to Ezra chapter 1.
Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, the word of Yahuwah by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled. Yahuwah stirred up the ruach of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his Malkuth and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia,
Yahuwah Elohim,
Shamayim,
have given me what?
All the Malkuths of the Arats, and he hath changed me to build him a house.
He charged me
to build a house at Jerusalem, which is in Yehudah.
Pause. Go to the book of Isaiah so you can see where that's written at. Chapter 45. Let me see, man. We want the middle or the end. ain't it. That ain't it. What is that? I'm in the wrong chapter with it. Because it's going to say Cyrus, my anointed. What we need for this here real quick, right? You know what I'm talking about? There it is, 44. My bad. 44 and 24. Shalom, Brother Robert. Shalom, Sister Regina. Isaiah chapter 44 and 24.
Thus saith Yahuwah, your Redeemer, and he that formed you from the womb. I, Yahuwah, that make all things, that stretch forth Shamahims alone, that spread abroad the Arats by myself.
That frustrate what?
The tokens of the light.
And make what?
Diviners mad.
That turn the wise.
And backward.
And make their knowledge what?
Foolish.
Okay.
That confirm the word of his servant.
And perform
the counsel of his messengers.
That say to Jerusalem.
You shall be inhabited.
And to the cities of Yehuda.
You shall be built.
And I will raise up.
The decayed places thereof.
That saith to the deep.
Be dry.
And I will dry up.
Your rivers.
That saith of
Cyrus.
He is my
shepherd.
He shall perform.
All my pleasures.
Even saying to Jerusalem.
You shall be built.
And to the temple.
Your foundation shall be laid.
Thus saith, this is verse 1 of chapter 45. Thus saith Yahuwah.
Who is anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden.
To do what?
To subdue nations.
I will loose the loins
of kings.
To open before him.
The two-leaved gates.
And the gates
shall not be shut.
Now, this is just establishing to you. Now, Isaiah and Jeremiah prophesying around the same time. But Jeremiah prophesying immediately before they go into Babylon. That's what the Lamentations of Jeremiah is about. Return back to Ezra chapter 1. It's just establishing that what he's saying in what we just had? Jeremiah 30, they didn't have any distress or trembling leaving Babylon. They left on their own accord. You know what I'm talking about? Because some people stayed and some people left. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. When they left up out of there, man, some people stayed, some people left. Everybody didn't come back necessarily. Back to Ezra chapter 1. What verse did you stop at?
All right, verse 2.
Come on with it.
And thus saith Cyrus, Malik of Persia, Yahuwah Elohim Mashamahim, hath given me all the Malchus of the Arats, and he hath charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Yehuda. Who is there among you, all his people, his Elohim be with him. And let him go to Jerusalem, which is in Yehuda, and build the house of Yahuwah Elohim Yasharah.
That's right.
He is the Elohim, which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever remain in any place where he sojourned, let the men of his place help him with silver and with gold and with goods and with beasts, beside the freewill offering for the house of Elohim that is in Jerusalem. Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Yehuda and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose rock Elohim had raised, to go up to build the house of Yahuwah, which is in Jerusalem.
Now this ties into things that are written in Haggai. This ties into what Daniel talking about, that the temple will be rebuilt. Go get it for him, man. Daniel 9 and 25. Daniel 9 and 25.
Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem.
So pause. What you heard in Isaiah 44 and 45 and Ezra 1 is the going forth of the commandment to rebuild the temple. And who, Shalom, man, who was the temple rebuilt for? Continue.
To restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince.
Shalom, Amistad.
Shall be 7 weeks and 3 score.
So the temple is being rebuilt for Hamashiach. You know what I'm talking about? So that also takes us back to what we looked at in 1 Kings 11, that I will leave a light always in Jerusalem for my servant David's sake, while the tents of Judah shall be saved first. Because Paul's 1 Chronicles 5 and 1 on general principle. This is so you can catch and understand the nuance of certain things of why they stated. And since we talking about it, we can read the Haggai. Go ahead.
Now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Yasharah, for he was the
This is 1 Chronicles 5 and 1. Continue.
For he was the firstborn, before as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the son of Yasharah. And the genealogy is not to be reckoned after
the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the what?
The birthright.
Go ahead.
For Yehuda prevailed above his brother.
Yehuda did what?
Prevailed above his brother.
And out of him
came the chief ruler.
Out of him
came the chief ruler.
So listen, who's the chief ruler? The Mashiach is the chief ruler. This is the chief ruler. Tell them what chief ruler is, just in case they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's Nagid. commander, military, religious, generally, honorable themes, a captain, chief, excellent thing, a governor, a leader, a noble, a prince, a chief ruler.
A noble, a prince, a chief ruler, a commander. Isaiah 55:1 on general principle, since he said a commander. You know about Cobra Commander? That boy don't know nothing about no G.I. Joe. That boy don't know nothing about no G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe, man. Snake Eyes, man.
But you don't know Cobra Commander? Go ahead, man.
What verse is it?
Where you at?
Isaiah 55.
And 1.
Ho, everyone that thirsts, come you to the waters, and he that have no money. Come you buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfied not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat you that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear, come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I'll make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
That's right.
Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, and a leader and commander to the people.
A leader and a commander to the people. Go ahead.
Behold, you shall call a nation that you know not.
That's good. Let's see if commander is the same word here again. I put money on it. It
This
is.
is saval.
Oh, you got a different one.
This is to constitute, to enjoin, to appoint, to forbid, to give a charge, to command, a commander, to send a messenger, to put, to set in order.
So this is a messenger who's been sent to set things in order. So you know what that means, to set things in order. That means that there's chaos. And what do we know about this here? Isaiah chapter 59. Not 59, it's 58. Or is it 57? You know what we want. 48 and 20. Well, it's in two different places, but I turned the page straight to 48, and that was what was before me. So I'll roll with that one. And we'll come back and look at that stuff we talked about wisdom in Proverbs 16, Ecclesiastes 9, Ecclesiastes 7, whatever was 24 and 21. Y'all remember them. Maybe you don't. It's okay. Go ahead with it, man.
Go you forth of Babylon, flee you from the Chaldeans with a voice of singing, declare you, tell this, utter it even to the end of their rats, say you, Yahuwah hath redeemed his servant Jacob. They thirsted not when he led them through the deserts. He caused the waters to flow out of the rock. For them he clave the rock also, and the waters gushed out. There is no shalom, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked.
Ain't no what?
Ain't no shalom, saith Yahuwah, unto the wicked.
That's why it wasn't much shalom for Yasharal. Because they were moving raw, they were moving evil, they were moving wicked, they was offended. Back to where you was at. We good with Isaiah 55, man.
You go with 1 Chronicles 5?
Yeah, we good with that too. Back to Daniel 9 and 25. We're establishing that is because he also said that commander is a messenger. That's one who is sent. You know what I'm talking about? The way he say, my father has sent me, and he whom he has sent, you have rejected. Shalom, Brother Ernest Lang. You understand? Now we're establishing, son, that the purpose of the temple being rebuilt is for the anointed one. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me back this up. Let me establish something to you why this got to go down like this, to rehash your pure minds by way of remembrance on a few things. You dig? 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14. Matter of fact, before you even do that, John chapter 2 and verse 14. And then 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. This is John chapter 2, verse 14.
And found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. When he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my Abba's house a house of merchandise.
What else?
And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of your house have eaten me up.
What else?
Then answered the Yahudim and said unto him, what sign show you unto us, seeing that
Pause.
you do
He said
these
what?
things?
He said what now?
What sign show you unto us, seeing that you do these things?
They say, what sign you showed us, seeing that you do these things? Well, what did he say?
Yahushua answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.
Do what now?
Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up.
And he spake.
Then said the Yahudim, 46 years was this temple in building, and will you rear it up in 3 days?
Now, this is taking you back to what you heard in Isaiah with Cyrus making the decree, what you heard in Ezra with Cyrus making the decree, what you see in Daniel about the temple being rebuilt for Hamashiach, and we'll look at in Haggai where he say the same thing, but it's going to be a little different conversation when we get to Haggai. Because if he said it's for a sign, you know that means that has to be good old testimony conversation. So we got to stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance and introduce it to those who may have never heard us have this conversation before. Continue. This is John chapter 2.
20, verse 21.
Verse 21.
He said, but he spake at the temple of his body.
But he spake. Hold on, let's keep it even more gangster with it, right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 26, you did, and verse 51. You could make it, you could make it 50. Matthew chapter 26 and verse 50.
And Yahushua said unto him, friend, wherefore are you come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. And behold, one of them.
Get to the point. Give me 55. We got time to wait.
In that same hour said Yahushua to the multitude, are you come out as against a thief with swords and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled.
Go ahead.
And all the disciples forsook him and fled.
They fled.
And they that had laid hold on Yahushua led him away to see if it's the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled.
But Peter followed him
afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end.
What happened after that?
Now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahushua to put him to death, but found none.
They ain't find none.
Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none.
At the last
came 2 false witnesses
and said,
this fellow said,
I am what?
Able to destroy the temple of Elohim and to build it in 3 days.
He said he able to do what?
Destroy the temple of Elohim and to build it in 3 days.
Now let's take a look at something in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, right? Now remember, right? What does Revelation 19 tell you, Sidney? The testimony of
Yahushua
is the ruach of prophecy. That is the breath of all things that are spoken of aforetime. That means that's the intent, rhyme, reason, and purpose. You know what I'm talking about? Of what it was manifested for. So that you would get an understanding of the what? Yahuwah Elohim. Merciful, gracious, long-suffering, abundant in goodness and truth, showing mercy unto thousands, forgiving sin, iniquity, and transgression. That's what you're supposed to have been picking up, what he was putting down. But we don't be picking that up. You know what I'm talking about? Because we've allowed people to cause us to be banded about with a multitude of things of genuinely of no consequence. But nevertheless, 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from Shamahim and forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open and my ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place.
He says his eyes are open, what?
Shall be open in my ears, attent unto the prayer that is made in this place.
Paul, now Yahushua told you if you destroy this temple, he'll do what with it?
Raise it in 3 days.
Now what did he say in regards to if you pray in his name to his apostles, what would he do? Let's take a look at that. Let me make sure my page ain't gone. John chapter 15, you did. No, it's 14, and my page is gone. 14 and 15. Just write that out and tell me what it say. Oh, no. You won't update today, buddy.
So if you love
peace, brother
me,
Omar.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
Whatever.
And I'll pray the Abba, and he shall give you another comforter.
What he say?
That he may abide with you forever. Even the Ruach of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it see him not, neither know him.
Come on.
But you know him, for he dwell with you and shall be in you.
What up?
I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world see me no more. But you see me because I live. You shall live also. At that day you shall know that I am in my Abba, and you in me, and I in you.
Go ahead.
He that hath my commandments and keep them, he it is that love me. He that love me shall be loved of my Abba, and I will love him and will manifest myself to him.
Go ahead. I got to look on the app because that page not being to me off. Go ahead.
Judas said unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that you will manifest yourself unto us and not unto the world? Yahushua answered unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Abba will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. He that loved me not, keep not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but the Abba's which sent me. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, whom the Abba will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you. Shalom I leave with you, my shalom I give unto you. Not as the world give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
I'm better than that. John chapter 14. I was about 2 verses too low. 14 and 8 is sufficient. John 14 and 8. My apologies. We didn't read a lot of stuff. They ain't had nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Abba, and it suffice us. Yahushua said unto him,
What do you say?
Have I been so long time with you, and yet have you not known me, Philip?
What else?
He that have seen me have seen the Abba, and how say you then, show us the Abba?
What else?
Believe you not that I am in the Abba, and the Abba in me? The words that I speak unto you speak not of myself, but the Abba that dwell in me, he do the works.
Listen.
Believe me that I am in the Abba, and the Abba in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake.
What else?
Truly, truly, I say unto you,
what do you say?
Believe on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Abba.
What else?
And whatsoever you shall ask in my name.
Whatsoever you're asking what?
In my name.
What do you do?
That will I do, that the Abba may be esteemed in the Son.
Now go to John 16 and 23. Now listen what he say right there. And after that, John 16, John chapter 17 and verse 20. And then we go to 1 John. But John 16 and 23 first.
And in that day you shall ask me nothing. Truly, truly, I say unto you, whatsoever you shall ask the Abba in my name, he will give it you.
He'll do what?
He will give it
Now,
you.
I wanted you to keep in mind, he said that destroy this house and we'll build it in 3 days. Now, we could read also in Hebrews what he's described as whose house we are. And that's a representative of one thing, because we're going to look at it, because he's about to say it. You dwell in him and he dwell in you. But come on, John chapter 17, verse 20. I'm trying to establish a point for you to get the understanding that is beneath the surface of what he said. If my eyes shall be open and my ears are intent unto the prayer that's made in this place. Shalom, Brother Mark. You know what I'm saying? So if you in Mashiach and Mashiach is in you, his eyes and ears are attent unto any supplication that you make in there. If you understand what I'm talking about. Continue.
Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word.
That's it.
That they all may be one, as you, Abba, are in me, and I in you. That they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you have sent me.
That's right.
And the esteem which you gave me, I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one.
Now, if you one, you dwelling in the house. You understand? 1 John chapter 3 and verse 21.
Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, have we confidence toward Elohim.
That's right.
And whatsoever we ask, we receive of him, because we keep his commandments and do those things that are pleasing in his sight.
Now listen.
And this is his commandment, that we should believe on the name of his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, and love one another as he gave us commandment.
Pause. So now come back and read 2 Chronicles 7 and 14 one more time. Booper. Booper.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from Shamayim, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open.
Now notice these are the same things that the Lord told you. Repent and believe the gospel, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And you would have to seek his face, you would have to humble yourself, and you would have to turn from your from your wicked way of living. You know what I'm talking about? But let's continue. Now,
my eyes shall be open, and my ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this
For
place.
I have chosen
and sanctified this house.
I have what?
Chosen and sanctified this house.
Now go to John chapter 10 and verse 34, and let's see if this man had been chosen and sanctified. And it takes us back to dealing with him being the commander and the chief ruler coming out of Judah and the temple being built for Hamashiach. And we still got Daniel 9:25. And we still got Haggai chapter 2 to look at, but we have to get through 2 Chronicles before we can go to Haggai. Let's continue though.
Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law, I said you are gods? If you call them gods unto whom the word of Elohim came, and the scripture cannot be broken.
Can't be broken.
Say you of him whom the Abba have sanctified.
So Abba did what to him?
Have sanctified.
He did what to him?
Sanctified.
And what else?
And sent into the world. You blaspheme.
You see how he say he was sent? That take you back to that commander in regards to him being a messenger. Let's continue.
You blaspheme because I said I am the son of Elohim.
I want you to notice that he said he chose and sanctified. This man say, if you destroy this temple, I'm going to build it back in 3 days. See, the biggest thing with most Yahudim, man, most Israelites, whether in past, present, is that you overly concerned with a building made out of brick. You know what I'm talking about? And see, it's not the aspect of how some people bring it up and be like, he don't dwell in temples made with hands. You don't have to do all that, because that's not what he was referring to. The simplicity and the carnality that is Western in your mind think that that means that you don't need a place of worship per se. That's not what he was communicating. And you know why we should have known that? Because when Solomon built the temple, he said, the heavens of heavens cannot contain you. How much more this house that I've built? So when he say he does not dwell in temples made with hands, he's already taken you back, because you're supposed to know your law, where he told you in Leviticus 26, he would walk in you. Yahuwah's intent and desire from the get-go was always to dwell in you. He never cared about you taking the Ark of the Covenant and putting it behind 4 walls. This is why he say he does not dwell in temples made with hands. That's why you see the Lord said, if you keep my instructions, I and my Abba will dwell with you, because he seeks to dwell in man. But man don't want him to dwell there. You would rather try to construct some type of artifice or some type of magnificent structure and try to convince yourself that he dwell there, when he has told you repeatedly, constantly, intentionally, and directly that his entire desire was for you to dwell in him and he to dwell in you. And that's it. Continue. Where we at?
John 10.
Go ahead. Read verse 36 again.
Say you of him whom the Abba hath sanctified and sent into the world, you blaspheme because I said I am the son of Elohim.
Now, let's return to verse 16, because this is the house that he has chosen and sanctified, that his name will be there forever. Do you not understand, when this man rose Yahushua from the dead, that his Father's name is in him forever? And that his eyes and ears are always open unto any prayer that is made in that place? Let's continue. See, pause. Matter of fact, I almost forgot. Revelation 21 and 24, and just to go ahead and push that point home on the back end of things you did. Go ahead.
And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of their rights do bring their esteem and honor.
22.
Revelation 22.
21 and 22.
Okay. It said, and I saw no temple therein, for the Lord Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
The people dwelling in him, and they dwelling in the people. There's no need for brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? And it just shows the intent and the thought process of man, because man desires everything opposite than what Yahuwah desires. Because Yahuwah don't desire any of these things. The same way he told you, I never told your forefathers about burnt offerings and sacrifices. He say, put that flesh up and eat it. But what do you hear people rambling about day in and day out in a multitude of different spaces? Animal sacrifices. This is something that this man never cared about. I just seen a dude say, man, if you ain't got no friend, your kids ain't got fringes on, you might as well give them pork nuggets too. Somebody say, well, the keeping the friend, like, bro, you think that man care about some cloth on the bottom of your shirt, bro? When you wicked as hell with the cloth on? You think you justified, man? What good is it to have a fringe at the bottom of your garment and you can look right at that fringe and go sleep with your neighbor's wife? You can look right at that fringe and slander your brother. You could look right at that fringe and have a desire to murder. You know what I'm saying? Because he said anybody who hate their brother without cause, the same is a murderer. You understand what I'm telling you? You got hatred in your heart for this man. He ain't did nothing to you. You'll kill him. You Cain, boy. Remember, Abel didn't do nothing to Cain. Nothing. And he showed that in his heart that he was a murderer because he murdered his brother. His brother didn't do nothing to him. You know what I'm talking about? At all. Shoot, even to the intent, Esau hated his brother without a cause. That man ain't do nothing to you. Some people like, oh, he tricked him out of his birthright. I hate when niggas say trick, somebody trick. See, the trick would matter some manner of deceit. Ain't nobody trick this nigga. Ain't nobody trick this nigga. That man said, hey, bro, let me get your birthright for these lentils. He said, what good is that birthright going to do to me, seeing I'm at the point of death? There's no tricking in that. You know, a lot of people always claim somebody tricked them when really you made a bad decision and you want to try to play the victim to your bad decision and try to push a responsibility and accountability off on somebody else talking about they deceived you. Nigga, you knew what you were doing. It just didn't go the way you wanted it to go. So now you have to create a story and concoct something. You know, it's a narcissistic tendency to do things of that sort. I'm not saying that you're narcissistic. That's a narcissistic tendency. You know what I'm talking about? Because you have to turn it around and make it seem like somebody did you wrong so that you can be justified in your brain about how stupid you are. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't nobody tricked you, man. They just made you up. It's always something when people always scream, oh, you don't have a choice. Let me tell you something real, man. You always have a choice. Now, here's the ugly part. You may not like your choices, but you always got one. You know what I'm talking about? You always got one. There is never a time in life where you don't have a choice. When you say you don't have a choice, it's because you don't like the opposite choice. So in your mind, you're saying there is no choice. You know what I'm talking about? And that's just how that goes. I remember, dog, we had this conversation years ago, and he was like, man, you know, if they come to try to kill you, behead you for the word, you don't have a choice. I say, you always got a choice, bro. You can die for God or you can stay alive and go to hell by denying him. But you have a choice. The thing is you don't like your choice because you don't want that option where you have to die. But you also don't like that option where you have to go to hell for denying him. But, sir, you have a choice. And that goes back to what we were talking about last week. That's why you got to be a man, bro. That's why you have to have intestinal and testicular fortitude and be a man, bro. Be a man. Don't be screaming that you don't have no choice. Man up, bro. That man told you don't fear him who could kill the body. That means there's a chance that's going to happen to you. You're going to have to make a decision. Listen, man, even when dudes decide to start hustling, man, because I've been out there. I know I've been around. Dudes were screaming, I ain't had no choice. You had a choice. You just didn't like the option of working a menial job. Now, you might have felt like you was up against it and in the dire straits, but you had a choice. What I mean is that by that is the same. I tell you all the time, man, you got to accept the responsibility, the consequences of your actions, of the choices that you make. Because most people are just not being just outright deceived. You know what you're doing. Now, see, what ends up deceiving you is the sin. Like Paul told you, sin deceived me. Your flesh deceived you. Your heart deceived you because you know it's deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Because it's deceiving you and telling you that your personal desire, which is against the will of God, is acceptable for you to chase after and ain't nothing going to happen to you. Like what he told Eve in the garden. But you're supposed to be resolute to know, I will not allow my lab to lie to me. I will not allow my flesh to lie to me. I will not allow my desires to lie to me. I will remain faithful to the word that has been spoken, that I say that I believe. That's why I have spoken. I believe, therefore I have spoken. So if you believe it, you're going to hold fast to what was promised to you because the just live by their faith. And you're going to allow the truth of Elohim to reign supreme and not the lies of your lusts, your flesh, and your heart. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I was talking about Wednesday, man, when people you fooling with people who owe you because your heart lying to you. Your heart telling you, no, it's not that bad. It's going to get better. Your heart lying to you. Man, if you've been, and I'm not just talking about in an interpersonal, intimate interaction, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, I don't care if it's friends, family, significant other, job, whatever the case. Boy, when somebody doing you dirty, blood, I'm talking about, I ain't talking about you feel like they doing you dirty because that's your feelings. I'm talking about, boy, they really, really like doing you dirty. And you go to convincing yourself that it ain't that bad, you lying to yourself. You know a key point where you know you lying to yourself? When somebody come tell you why you still fool with them. And you try to come up with a justification of why you should stay around there. The minute you got to get it clicked in your brain that you need justification or why you need to stay around somewhere when somebody lets you know you getting done dirty, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. I ain't talking about no feelings either, man. I'm talking about somebody is doing something that is deplorable, incorrigible, unacceptable. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, that ain't the play. So I got a tad bit confused because I saw sacrifice mentioned first in Genesis. No, he's not. Read her Jeremiah 7 and 21. Yeah, that man ain't never care about that. And you can read the Psalms 50 right behind it. Yeah, that man ain't never care about that. Because what is the blood of bulls and goats going to do? You know what I'm saying? The sacrifices is cool, but that's not something that he take pleasure in. Always remember you have to look at that Hebrew word kafas, which is to delight, to take pleasure in. So what does he take pleasure in? He told you what he said, man, he would rather have mercy rather than sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And he said obedience is better than sacrifice. That's why he say the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination, and even more if he bring it with a wicked mind. But he told you the just weights and balances of the just are his delight. These are the things that he take pleasure in explicitly. It's easier for people to talk about sacrifices because it's nothing for you to bring one. But if you know your law, you know he told you don't bring him no sacrifice with no blemish. So if you bringing yourself as a living sacrifice, you can't bring no blemish either. That means all that lust, that lying, that stealing, that thieving, them idols in your heart, you can't bring that talking about you sacrificing yourself on the altar. That man gonna find that abominable and reject it. He said it makes sense because you see the heathen gods care very much about the sacrifice for them. Yeah. If you look at them pagan gods, they definitely care more about sacrificing humans, animals, whatever the case may be. Yahuwah don't care about that. Jeremiah 7 and 21.
Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, the Alim Yasharal, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices.
Put your burnt offerings to what?
Unto your sacrifices.
And eat
flesh.
And put your burnt offerings to your sacrifices and do what?
Eat flesh.
And what else?
For I spake not unto your fathers.
I spake not unto your who?
Your fathers.
I spake not unto your who?
Your fathers.
Saying what?
Nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of
He
Egypt.
said, I never commanded them when they came out of Egypt to do what?
Concerning burnt offerings or sacrifices.
He said, I ain't never talked to them about that. Why?
But this thing commanded I them, saying,
what you told?
Obey my voice.
That's all he cared about.
And I'll be your Elohim, you shall be my people.
That's all he cared about.
Walk you in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well unto you.
That's it. As far as Adam wasn't bringing animals for sacrifice, and Adam didn't need to bring any animals for sacrifice because he was a righteous man, and he didn't have the law until they ate from it, because the law is for sinners. You know what I'm talking about? So there was no need for him to sacrifice. I mean, Abel, that's just the aspect of they just making the offering to God, but he didn't require it of them. He didn't say, "Bring me one." Yahuwah don't care about that. Yeah, he really don't. Psalms 50 and 15. Yeah, he don't care about that. Man care about that more than he care about it. You can get it 1 Samuel 15, 22 right after that.
Offer unto Elohim thanksgiving and praise.
Offer unto Elohim what?
Thanksgiving.
See what he wants you to offer him what? He wants you to offer him what?
Thanksgiving.
And what else?
Pay your vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you shall esteem me.
Call upon you in the day of what?
Of trouble.
Okay.
But unto the wicked, Elohim said, what have you to do to declare my statutes, or that you should take my covenant in your mouth, seeing you hate instruction and cast my words behind you?
What up?
When you saw a thief, then
I'll back it up. Give me about 9, because that's going. we ain't at where we need to be at. Psalm 50 and 9, my apologies. Matter of fact, you can read verse 4 and look at what he said he want his saints to do.
He shall call to Shamahim from above, and to the Arats, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Those that make a covenant with me by what?
By sacrifice.
By what?
By sacrifice.
So he wants you to make a covenant with him by sacrifice, not the sacrificing of bulls and goats, but the sacrificing of your own ways, lusts, and doings. Which is why you can see Paul come back around later and say, offer yourself as a living sacrifice. This is your reasonable service. And he said one that's acceptable to God. And that's when you turn around and you can see what happened with Cain, and you can get some understanding. Because Cain brought this man anything, and he didn't accept it. You can't bring Yahuwah anything and think he gonna take it. And it goes into something I told y'all recently, and I've told you time past. With human beings, with man, with women, you can give them gifts and things that they don't want. And most people think it's rude to say, I appreciate this, but I don't want this. Or I don't like this. I don't care for this. People take that to be ungrateful or rude. From a person's standpoint, I can see why they would see that from that point of view. So most people perceive that the living God would do the same thing. And that man is very specific. He is very deliberate about exactly what he wants and how he wants it and how you got to bring it. And he does not compromise. He does not compromise. I know the average person here uses the word compromise, and they usually don't use it in the proper context of the definition. So again, compromise means to take less than what you want. You understand? Again, that is not compromising. If you want Mexican and she want Italian and y'all decide on Thai food, that's only compromising if you did not want Thai food, but you agreed to it. You took something that you did not want. You know what I'm saying? See, I say that because you hear people say all the time, in marriage, you got to what? Compromise. No, you do not. No, you do not. That is taking less than what you want. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at is this something that you want, or you just want to have your way? You see what I'm talking about? See, there's a difference. See, want to have your way is different than this is something that I want. Because if it's something that you want, you don't take, case in point, I know this is extreme. If you don't want a man to strike you or call you out of your name, and you take a man who does that, you just compromised. See, people like to, I think we talked about this a while back. People like to talk about people settling. Most people don't even know what that means. Most people aren't settling. I think most people who use that term, you have probably overestimated what you may be worth in your brain. But to settle means to resolve or reach an agreement. You know what I'm talking about? But you've been told that settle means to take less. But it literally means to decide, to determine, to resolve, to make an agreement with. So if you say, I settled for him, you made an agreement with him. Settling does not mean you took less. That's not what that word means. You know what I'm talking about? That means you came to a resolution. To take less is to compromise. You know what I'm talking about? Because that means you didn't want that. You didn't want that. Case in point, this is extreme. If you say you want a woman who's a virgin and you marry one who is not, you just compromised. Because that's not what you wanted. So read them Deuteronomy 17 and 5. Now, see, one thing about Yahuwah, he can settle. He can come to an agreement with you. Because you've seen it in the text. But he don't compromise. He does not compromise. Deuteronomy 17 and 5. And I'll read compromise by definition for those who think I'm making it up. Prayerfully, most of you are very intelligent people. And you went and looked it up for yourself just to see that that's what it says. It And this is what it says. An agreement or settlement of a dispute that is reached by each side making concessions, accept standards that are lower than is desirable. So when you compromise, you're giving up what you desire to come to an agreement. Yahuwah is not doing that. He is not making any concessions about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't understand what words mean. Words have meaning. Like working together isn't compromise. Shalom, Brother Marvin, man. What's the word of you? Working together is being cooperative. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're working together with someone and you're working in harmony, y'all are cooperating with each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at cooperating by definition. And that's something that you always have to remember, right? Words have meanings. And you can't make a word mean what you want it to mean. It means what it means. What does cooperate mean? Working jointly towards the same end, or assisting someone or complying with their requests. So when you are cooperating, you are honoring the request that they made, or you're working together for the same goal. You know what I'm saying? But some people will hear cooperate and lose their brain because they think it's the same way when you hear submission. The word submission, by definition, means to yield to a will that is greater than yours. That's all it means. It doesn't mean a doormat. It doesn't mean you a slave. That is not what that means. And again, submit, to accept or yield to a superior force or to the authority or will of another person. So when you accept, now that goes to cooperating. Because if you're submitting, you're cooperating to their request, working together for that end or that vision or that goal. That's why he said he submitted to his Father's will. There was a specific goal in mind that we are seeking to achieve. You know what I'm talking about? So what that really boils down to, just on the natural side of things, if what that man is working towards is not what you want to be a part of, then you don't mess with him. Because why would you not yield to this vision to cooperate in order to bring it to pass? But what ends up happening is a lot of people will want to try to influence that man to compromise and make concessions and take less than what is desirable of what he's working towards. Now you see how all these things happen? Now when you take these things that we mentioned on the natural side of things and you bring them to the word, most people approach God with that same attitude. You know what I'm saying? You want him to compromise. You don't want to cooperate, nor do you want to yield to his will, yet you want the benefits that come from the yielding to his will and the cooperation of working to the fulfilling of his will. And that don't make no common sense. Then you would have to ask yourself, why would anyone agree to that? That doesn't benefit the individual, that benefit you. So then when you look at it is you want the benefit of the individual without the labor that goes in receiving the benefit. Now, obviously the benefit of mercy, grace, and salvation is nothing that you could have said, done, or influenced him in order to receive that. That is reflective of his character. Shalom, Sister Kelly. That's reflective of who he is. But one thing, and this is why most people take his salvation and his forgiveness for granted, because I don't care what anybody think or say. I know this from living. People do not appreciate that which they don't earn. They don't. If you didn't earn it, you don't appreciate what you have. It is very, 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 very few people on this earth that you can give a multitude of benefits toward, that they didn't have to do anything to receive, that they will be grateful and appreciative of what you gave them. Most human beings' minds don't work like that because you didn't have to do anything to get it. If you were a child and your people just shot you bread and you didn't have to work for it, you were very reckless and careless with those funds in general. Overwhelmingly with most people, because you didn't begin to appreciate your money until you had to earn it. You know what I'm saying? You notice that your children can take the things that you purchased them and bandy them about and toss them around and destroy with no care or concern because they didn't do anything to earn it. They don't have any care or regard for it because it didn't cost them anything. You know what I'm saying? Like when it cost you something, then you have a care, concern, and regard. Now, there's nothing that it cost you for God to forgive you because he said there's forgiveness with him that he might be feared. There's nothing that it cost you for him to extend mercy. But this is the thing. To get the fulfillment of all that, the Ruach HaKodesh, it's going to cost you something. And you have to make a covenant with him by sacrifice. And that's where it costs you. You got to take up your stake daily and follow him. And that's when it costs you. And that's when he said people got to sit down and count the cost, whether they got sufficient to pay. And that's when individuals find out, I don't want to do it. Because remember, he said to be his disciple, you got to forsake everything that you have. And when people sit down and count that cost, they don't want to do that. I don't want to pay that. Because again, that's the sacrifice that he wants. You know what I'm saying? So you have to ponder that in your brain. So I mentioned all of that so you can see how we transform our natural way of thinking onto him and thinking, oh, well, God will do the same thing. He won't. He won't. And he's very clear and explicit that he won't. Deuteronomy 17:5.
Then shall you bring forth that man or that woman.
My bad. 17:1.
You shall not sacrifice unto Yahuwah your Elohim any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto Yahuwah your Elohim.
Any what favoredness?
Evil favoredness.
Tell them what that means. Go ahead.
That's raw.
That's wicked. That's the word for evil. You can't bring him no sacrifice that got evil in it. So if you're going to make a covenant with him by sacrifice, go to Romans 11:1. You saw I was about to ask if that's what living. Yes, that's what it means. Which goes back to Psalm 50, which goes back to Luke 9:23, which goes back to 1 Peter 4:1. Let this mind be in you, the same mind that was in Yahushua HaMashiach. He that suffered in the flesh ceased from sin. Those are the sacrifices that he accepts. The same way he said, pour me a glass of that, please. So see how smooth that is. I just wanted it to be cold. Just pour me a glass of that, please. I just wanted it to be cold. But I didn't want to put it on the ice. I just water it down. That's real great juice right there. Boy, you want to sit with that boy? Might make your heart jump. And it got fiber in it. You be regular. I always need to be regular. So listen, right? People think Yahuwah care about, I ain't say grapefruit. I don't eat no grapefruit. God, no. I'd rather chew dirt. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, what's the difference?
All grapefruits are nasty. And all of a sudden, one on my auntie's tree, that's great. Okay. One.
Mm-hmm. That's what everybody say. No, this grape juice, real grape juice, infused with fiber, so you'll be regular. Bring me the bottle. Oh, you can't see it. I just happened to see this today, man. You know what I'm saying? You'd think you'd be drinking wine, but that's grape juice. 100% daily fiber needs right there, man. There's 55 grams of dietary fiber in here. They said it's grape nectar. It's all right. I wouldn't write a letter about it. I jump with like $6.50. But you know, if it's real fruit, they're gonna tax you. Every time. But people think Yahuwah care about fringes. He think he care about you. People think he care about your perfect attendance. People think he care about, you know, your animal sacrifices and things of that nature. And that man don't care about that. Go ahead. Where we at with it?
Romans 11:1.
And then we go to 1 Samuel 15-22. Go ahead.
I say then, have Elohim cast away his people? Elohim forbid, for I am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
It's 12-1. That's what I said. That don't sound right. My bad. My bad, y'all. Romans 12-1.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Elohim, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
That you present your what?
Your body.
Notice he said to present your body. That means you need to sacrifice all your lusts, all your desires that are contrary to the will of God. This is what Yahushua did, and that's why his ears and eyes are attentive to all the prayers that are made in that place, like we read in 2 Chronicles chapter 7. Go ahead.
Present your bodies a living sacrifice, Kadash, acceptable unto Elohim, which is
Forgive me, y'all, but we have to take this route so that when we come back to Jeremiah 30, that you see why he's saying what he's saying, because you got to understand the time period of what's being prophesied. This is prophesied during the time of Jeremiah, before they went into Babylon with King Zechariah. And the things that are described in Jeremiah 30 did not occur when they left out of Babylon. You know what I'm saying? Now, some will try to say that occurred in 70 AD, but that wouldn't make any sense because they weren't restored. You can't be put out and restored at the same time. Go ahead.
And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind.
And that's what most people don't do, is they don't make themselves a new mind. You don't refresh your mind. So you have to offer your body as a living sacrifice. That means take up your stake daily and follow him, suffer in the flesh. That means you are living every single solitary day, mortifying, killing, sacrificing the things that are against God to please God. And most people don't want to pay that price. Most people don't want to pay that price. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people mince words and pussyfoot around with a lot of things. But, man, we know what's going on out here, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is hesitating and procrastinating and flogging and doing all type of things. As Mama like to say, it's just a facade. These people faking. Because it's not what they want to do. See, everybody like to talk about the word, but this ain't what a lot of people want to do. When this man told you in Deuteronomy 32, man, that this is not a vain thing for you, this is your life. For a lot of people, this is not their life. And when I say this is not their life, I ain't talking about just getting on the internet, talking about no word. I ain't talking about just running up on people like, oh, I'm trying to cut up your doctrine or show you how. Like, nah, bro, like I live it, I breathe it. It's the entirety of my spirit. It pumps through my veins. You know what I'm talking about? I sweat it. You know what I'm talking about? I don't just talk it, nigga. I live it. Like, this is what type of time I'm on. Not to impress you. Like, nigga, this is what I'm on. I don't give a damn if you agree with it or not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to make this is what I'm on, cuz. Like, it's not to impress you. Most people don't have that attitude because this not their life. And when I say don't have that attitude, because most people ain't never had that attitude about nothing in life. Like, this defines who I am because this is what I do. This is what I'm on. I think about it constantly. It engulfs me. Dare I say obsessed. But you know what you hear people want to say? Why men ain't obsessed with women. And that's the problem. Let me just put this out here, man. This ain't nobody ever told. Man, you never in your days should ever be obsessed with no woman. And if you is, you a goddamn fool. Because if you obsessed with a woman, where's room for God? If you was going to be obsessed with anything, you should be obsessed with God. And as a woman, you shouldn't even want no man obsessed with you. That means he ain't got nothing going on. He ain't got no ambition, no desire, no purpose, no rhyme, no reason. And that's not out of no disrespect. That's real life, man. Do you understand what it means to be obsessed? And also, just on the general side of things, a man obsessed with you will kill you. So you definitely don't want that either. You know what I'm saying? Someone who is obsessed is preoccupied or filled the mind of someone continually, intrusively, and to a troubling extent. Now, I say that for this reason. Do you hear that they said to a troubling extent? Do you understand that words have meaning? It sounds cute. It's not. If that man's mind is preoccupied and filled with you, that means it ain't filled with nothing else. So when people ask that question, well, why ain't men obsessed? He's probably obsessed with something that's a tad bit greater than human interaction. You see what I'm saying? And that's hard for people to understand. That's why a lot of these men are weak. I used to think obsession was good when I was younger. That's why a lot of these men, shalom, Brother Rob, that's why a lot of these men are weak. When I say weak, meaning that they don't have a desire to achieve or do anything. You know what I'm saying? That's not a man who has a commanding presence. I meant to ask my homegirl this because she told me this the other day. Well, a while back. It's not the other day. Probably about a couple months ago. Because she made reference to like watching her mama and how her mama dealt with men. And she was like, she had to be with a man who want her more than him. More than he got a, and I'm like, I wanted to ask her like, but will you respect him though? You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds good in theory when you say the man got to love you more than you love him or like you more than you like him. But the question is, will you respect him though? Because it sounds good, as Sister Kelly just mentioned, some women want to be worshiped. The question is, a man who behaves that way, would you respect him though? And if you have to pause, think, then why would you want a man who would do that? See, as a man, your number one obsession should be serving your God. That's what your mind should be filled. That's why Paul mentioned in 1 Corinthians 7, when you get married, you know, you got to seek the things of the world because you have to please your spouse. But when you're unmarried, you don't have to be concerned with anything other than pleasing God. Sister Kelly say, nope, not in the long. And I know it's not going to work because I done seen it play out in real life, though. That man like that woman more than she not going to respect him because she don't really like that dude. You know what I'm saying? The admiration and the obsession with him feels good for a moment, but then time go by, she want a man. Now she going to be disgusted. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, nigga, no. Huh? Yeah, like, nigga, no. Damn, nigga, you always want to talk to me and see me? You don't got nothing to do? It sounds good, but we talking about when you actually, it's a lot of things sound good in theory. You know, you might have walked in the house and said, it sounds good to eat all these prunes. But once you ate them all, you found out real quickly, this wasn't a great idea. You know what I'm saying? You have to look at an application, or you have to sit back and look at things and be like, what is the outcome that you desire? See, a lot of people, they hear the word, it sound good to them. Till they find out what's required. And then they're like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. Should treat a husband like a buddy. And that, man, look at man, you don't want to live life like that. You don't want to live life like that. It's the same token like when I tell you a dude say he want a woman who gullible. Man, that junk sound good. Till 5-10 years go by and you realize you married to a dummy who can't think her way out of a paper bag. Who just, because if she gullible with you, guess what? She gonna be gullible with the world, my nigga. Like, dude, it sound good when you say it, but when you put that in the application, bro, that don't look good, bro. That don't look good. You know what I'm saying? Like when dudes be like, man, as long as she look good, it sound good until you realize this woman got to raise your children and she evil and she mean. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no patience, but she look good though. Because that's all you was concerned with. Like, nah, bro. You have to look at things in its totality to see, is the outcome going to be what it is that I desire? Like straight up. And most people don't. Why? Because most people lean into selfish motivation. Which is why he told you in Ezekiel, cast away from you all your transgressions that you have transgressed. Peace, Brother Joseph, man. So iniquity won't cause your ruin. You know what I'm saying? Selfish inclinations and motivations, man, it'll bring forth your destruction because you're going to go after what please you versus what please God. And that's not a direction you want to walk down. Because what's going to happen? That flesh going to deceive you. That sin going to deceive you. Your heart going to deceive you. And he said, blessed is he that endured temptation. When he is tried, he'll receive a crown of life. But let no man say when he be tempted to Elohim. Because Elohim tempt no man with evil. But every man is enticed and drawn away with his own lust. And when lust is conceived, that brings forth sin. And sin, death. He said, do not err, my beloved brethren. That's how serious it is, man. You know what I'm talking about? Like people underestimate the seriousness of what it is that you are presently involved with. You know what I'm saying? You involved with something that is very, very serious. And you have to treat it as such. You have to deal with it with the proper gravity that it deserves. A lot of people playing around. Come on, man. Where we at with it?
We go with Romans 12.
Yeah, come on to 1 Samuel 15 and
22.
Nah. And 16 and 15. Matter of fact, because I just want you to hear, because people use that one incorrectly. Make it 10. Matter of fact, make it 7. Because I just want you to hear everything of why he said what he said in verse 22 that most people use improperly. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 7.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until you come to Shur, that is over against Egypt.
And he took who?
Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
But Saul.
And the people
Saul and the who?
And the people.
So this everybody spared what?
Agag.
And the best of the
sheep.
And the oxen.
And of the fat lambs.
And the lambs.
And all that was good.
And would not.
Utterly destroyed.
But everything that was vile.
And refuse they destroyed utterly.
So see, they did opposite of, they took, I'll keep the good stuff. See, that was their desire. And their desire deceived them. See, this is the final thing that got Saul cut off. You know what I'm saying? Now, he going to blame it on the people, but the reality was they were more, because you know what you do with the sacrifices, you eat them. So they were more concerned with, remember, their God is their belly. They mind earthly things. That's what they were concerned with. That's why he cursed the serpent to go upon his belly. That is representative of you going after your desires. And what did Esau go after? His belly. What good is this birthright for me seeing I'm finna starve? Because he minded earthly things. He minded temporal things. That's what they were concerned with. See, when you offer yourself as a living sacrifice, you're concerned with the things that are eternal. But most people, unfortunately, their biggest problem is you want temporary and immediate gratification. Indeed, his belly was his God. And that's what you should pay attention to. Because again, if I told you to kill all these animals, that means, nigga, I ain't want them. And you thought you bringing it to me because it was the best, was going to make it any better? I told you before you went, I ain't want them. So you didn't do that for me. You did that for yourself. And you tried to convince yourself that it was my will. You see that? This is what Saul did. You got to pay attention to it. Go ahead, man. Because like I said, most people run to 22 and don't pay attention to what actually happened.
Then came the word of Yahuwah unto Samuel, saying, "And repent me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto Yahuwah all night."
Now listen, right? When he talking about his commandments, he ain't talking about what's in the law. He gave him an explicit instruction to do. Now we're not going to read the verse, but I think I told you this other day. Man, Samuel was mourning for Saul. And man, Yahuwah told, man, what you crying for this nigga for? Seeing I don't fool with him. Go ahead and do what I sent you to do. You sitting around here crying for this nigga. Man, I don't fool with this nigga. Go ahead.
And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Baruch be you of Yahuwah, I have performed the commandment of Yahuwah.
Come on, man. The man here. You didn't even kill the king. He told you to kill the king too. Go ahead, man.
And Samuel said, what mean then this bleating of the sheep in my ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear?
Now listen what this man said.
And Saul said, they have brought them from the Amalekites.
For the people
spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen.
To do what?
To sacrifice unto Yahuwah.
And the rest
we have utterly destroyed.
Then Samuel
said unto Saul, stay, and I will tell you what Yahuwah has said to me this night.
And he said
unto him, say on.
And Samuel said,
when you was little in your own sight,
was you not made the head
of the tribes of Yasharal,
and Yahuwah anointed you
king over Yasharal,
and Yahuwah sent you on a
journey
and said, go utterly destroy
the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them
until they're what?
Be consumed.
Wherefore then did you not obey the voice of Yahuwah?
But did fly upon the spoil and did evil in the sight of Yahuwah.
So him taking them animals and bringing them back, that was evil to Yahuwah, because that's not what I told you to do. You see how he not compromising? That's not what I told you to do, and that's not what I wanted. Go ahead.
And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yahuwah.
Well, you know how tough that is for this man to run down what this man told you, and you say you did it?
He convinced in his own mind.
He convinced in his own mind. People do this every day. Go ahead, man.
And Saul said unto Samuel, yea, I have obeyed the voice of Yahuwah, and I have gone the way which Yahuwah sent me, and I brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
Now he's going to shift and blame the people. Go ahead.
But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the
But what did we read earlier? It says Saul and the people. And you just heard how he boasted that he did it, and now he blaming the people for it. And you know what that is? That's poor leadership. But let's continue. Go ahead.
But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto Yahuwah your Elohim.
Now, Paul, you literally just heard what he said. They brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best, the sacrifice. Now you're throwing the people under the bus. Go ahead, man.
And Samuel said, have Yahuwah as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices,
as in
obeying the voice of Yahuwah? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice,
and to hearken
than the fat of rams.
Paul, that's all he cared about. That's if he cared about sacrifices, he would have took them sacrifices. Well, it is the best. He don't care about that. That is not what he cared about. Look at verse 1 of chapter 16, man. Let's say what I was just mentioning, y'all.
And Yahuwah said unto Samuel, how long will you mourn for Saul?
Seeing
I have rejected him from reigning over Yasharal.
Fill your horn
with oil, and go. I will send you to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among
Now see,
verse
35 of that chapter say Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death. Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul. He said, how long you going to mourn for him? He said, I rejected him. Tell him what rejected means in verse 1. I don't fool with him.
That's ma'as. To disappear, to abhor, to cast away, or cast off, to contemn, despise, disdain, to become loathsome, to melt away, to refuse, reject. Reprobate.
Man, this reprobate. You understand that? That's what reprobate means, to be rejected. So when people be like, it's all going to make it in the kid, he say he rejected him. He done with him. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is real talk. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't deal with it. Well, once you who will reject you, bro, it's over. There's no repentance that you can make. There's no prayer that you can make. You can't go in this book nowhere where he rejected somebody and he take them back. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's over with. Did you notice it said reprobate, and it also said to be cast away, and it also said to despise, to abhor, to find you abominable. This man is disgusted with you. Do you understand the level of unfaithful disobedience you have to display for that man to get to that point? Like straight up, you got to think about that. Do you know how unfaithful you have to be for that man to get to that point? To the point where he said, I'm disgusted with you. That's why he says, because you don't like to keep Elohim in your knowledge, he give you over to a reprobate mind. A reprobate mind is a mind that reject God. And if you forsake him, he going to forsake you. See, when people say God will never leave you or forsake you, they don't give you the proper context of what that means. He won't leave and forsake you if you don't leave and forsake him. That means if you seek him early, then you'll be found of him. But if you abandon him, that man's going to stop. You know how most people feel like I can go off over here and then come back and God will be here waiting for me? He not going to be there. See, we're not talking about like the prodigal son. You went sideways and then now you like, I'm going to go over here and do this. And I'm going to put God on the back burner. And when I'm ready, like how some people do, men and women, I'm going to string you along and keep you here till I'm ready to be with you. And guess what most people find out? That big dummy staying there waiting for you. But you know what some men and women done found out? That nigga didn't stay there waiting for them. And they found somebody who loved them, who wouldn't do to them what you did to them. And now you salty and upset because this person wasn't there waiting for you because you just thought in your mind that you had such a hold on them that they would never go nowhere. But they did. You know what I'm saying? And you know they put this type of stuff in movies and television shows about big dummies who sit around waiting for somebody who don't give two flying London dams about them. Well, Yahuwah not going to let you do him like that, though. Oh, you think I'm finna sit here waiting on you while you go hoe it up? And when I say hoe it up, I'm not talking about sexually. I'm talking about idolatry, man. I'm talking about where you out here performing whoredoms. You know what I'm talking about? So you think you finna go out here and perform whoredoms and I'm just gonna be sitting here waiting for you? Because you done gave me your butt to kiss and say, nah, I'm leaving you. No, he like, oh, no, but that's a bet. Because this is how Yahuwah look at it. Once you leave now, you can't come back. See, that sounds harsh to most people. You know why? Because most people ain't used to dealing with somebody who got dignity and self-respect. You know what I'm saying? That as much as, and this don't mean that this person don't love you, but they love themselves and they respect themselves and they would rather not sacrifice their dignity. You know what I'm saying? Most people will sacrifice their dignity just to maintain a connection to somebody who don't give a damn about them. You know what I'm saying? Man, you can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying about? Man, you can't do that, man. Man, you can't do that. I wouldn't care if it was your mammy, your pappy, your Aunt Sally. I wouldn't give a damn who it was. Man, you can't do that, man. You don't never sacrifice your dignity to keep somebody around. Because somebody who loved you wouldn't want you to sacrifice your dignity in the first place. Is there a difference between making a conscious choice to go and put Yahuwah on the back burner? Oh, yeah, there's a difference. I'm going to write it in. Because you consciously and willfully say, I'm finna go do this over here. You know what I'm saying? Versus struggling with your flesh is having some weaknesses. Man, when you put somebody on the back burner, you know what you're doing. Praise you, Sister Virginia. You know what you're doing. Because guess what happens when you put something up on the back burner? You putting it off. You know what that means? It's not important to you. I'll get to it later. But guess what? Later never comes. You know what I'm saying? Things that are important to you, you never put them on the back burner. You never put them on the back burner because this is an imperative that I get this accomplished. Now, some people now, when we talk about a general sense, naturally, some people know they can't put stuff on the back burner because if I don't do it right now, I'm going to forget. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. Because Sim will tell you, he know full well. You know what I'm saying? There's certain stuff. Let me go ahead and do this right now because I know if I get to moving and doing this and doing that, I'm going to forget. This is why I've always told you, if you text or call me, I try to respond swiftly because if I do not, I will forget. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to forget because I ain't like y'all. I ain't got no headphones in, so my phone in my pocket. So woo. Like this here, nigga might see me on Clubhouse, think I'm engaged in the whole conversation. My phone is in my pocket, bro. You know what I'm saying? I may hear something, I may not hear something. Like I'm listening, but I'm not listening. I'm not actively involved in what's going on. I'm trying to get the job done. I might be in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm there, but I'm not there at the same time. But somebody think you there, you know what was going on? Nigga, no. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. Say one of my old homies just got shot by the Babylon on the first. My God, today he's a true dog returning to his vomit. At one time he left the streets to serve y'all, then recently went back to running the set. Because that's where his heart was at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, putting them on the back burner, you have to willfully do that. Because that's a conscious decision to say, let me go do this over here first, and then I'll come back and serve God. And God not gonna be there. He not gonna let you do him like that. Yeah, he not gonna let you do him like that. He got too much self-respect. He said, all I can say now is look at you, crying out for y'all in your time of distress. Preferably he have mercy on him if you see fit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I'm telling you. When that man say you got to sit down and count the cost if you got sufficient to pay, you know why most people don't do that? Because most people don't tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Read it for him, man. Luke 14 and 26. Most people don't tell you that. Man, let me tell you something, man. Anything you do in life, man, that has any positive outcome or result, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you something. Like when we talking about before, when people be like, you want an extremely successful man or this, that, that, and the third, and you think he going to have time to meet and go to every soccer game, every PTA meeting. No, that's not going to happen. That's not how that works. Because you know what this man know? To get this level of success that my family desire, it's going to cost me something. And it might cost me time with my family when I would rather be with them. I got to be over here and do this. And people who don't have that who don't understand that type of thought process, they don't understand why he doing it. They think all he care about is this, that, there, and the third. No, to achieve this here so you can have the life that you desire, so that we can be comfortable and woo, 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 so you can be able to go to school. When I'm talking about if I want to send you to college and this, that, it's going to cost me something. There is nothing that you're going to do in life of any significance that is not going to cost you something. But you know what people in America think? I can have it all. You can't. You can't. It's going to cost you something. So yeah, that's the basic idea behind wisdom and sacrifice. Absolutely, we ain't even got to that. We supposed to be getting to that. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's why he say with wisdom come pain, grief, and sorrow. It's gonna cost you something, man. Anything you do in life that has any positive consequence or repercussion, it's gonna cost you. Hell, even negative, everything you do in life is gonna cost you something. You just have to sit down and count the cost and say, is this a cost you willing to pay? And you know what most people do when they embark on things? They never sit down and count the cost. They never sat down and count the cost. Go ahead.
If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, in his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Mm-hmm. And whosoever do not bear his stake and come after me cannot be my disciple.
If you cannot make yourself a living sacrifice and deny yourself, you can't be his taladim, he can't teach you. If you can't give up everything you got, can't be his taladim, he can't teach you. Now sit there and pause and look at that in a natural sense. If this is, number one, he is not asking you to do anything that he hasn't already done. This is the number one hallmark of great leadership. A leader will never ask his subordinates to do anything that he hasn't or isn't willing to do. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you an example. I told before, I ain't no killer. Never purported to be or nothing. So you know what that means? I would never pay or send a man to do a murder if I wasn't going to be willing to go with him. You know what I'm saying? You don't send people to do things that you not gonna do yourself. You know one thing I heard Dame Dad say years ago that I agree with, man, if you're gonna create a company, you need to know how to do every job in that company. Just in the aspect if somebody didn't show up, you could be able to do it, but more importantly, so that you could labor next to your team at certain times that they know that you just asked. Now, of course, there's certain areas if you ain't proficient in, you got to hire somebody, but you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Your subordinates, your soldiers have to know that you would be willing to get in the trench with them and not just tell them to go. But I'm going to get down in here with you. People, men or women, people respect that. People don't respect somebody who just tell them what to do. You know what I'm saying? People don't respect that. I'm talking about as a leader, long term. We're not talking about initially, long term. They're not going to respect that. So you can't ask of anyone, and see, this is the part of where the cooperation and submission come in at. Because if I'm asking you to yield to my authority, to yield to my will, that means I had already been walking in that direction, doing the things that I'm asking you to do. I've already done it. So that means if I've already done it and you're not willing to do it, then why would I have you here? Because I'm not asking you to do anything that I haven't already done. So when he's asking you that you have to, well, letting you know, I should say, that you got to be willing to forsake all that you have, that you got to be willing to take up your stake, or he can't teach you. I can't teach a person a lesson that they refuse to learn because they don't want to do the work. What, I'm wasting my time. Because the reality is you don't want to be here. You know why? Because you don't want to serve him with a ready heart and a willing mind. It ain't in you to do it. Luke 14:26, one more time.
If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother, and wife and children, and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Now notice people always talk about, he's telling you to hate your father and mother, but skip over the fact he said your own life also. So what does that mean? That you won't put anybody's will above his. Because guess what? You shouldn't be putting nobody's will above your husband's. You know, I just seen a video. Of course, this lady was talking about a man coming in and being with her, and she already had children. And you always hear that conversation of a lady saying, "Oh, I'll never put a man before my children." But you want this man to come in here and pay the rent and feed and clothe everybody in this house, and you want him to come second, third, or fourth. Man, if you'd agree to that, you a goddamn fool. You's a damn fool. You know what I'm talking about? And I mean that in the literal sense, man. Because what do I mean by this here? If you are expending yourself, you're making sacrifices in your life in order to be of value and benefit to others, and you're going to allow them to make you a subordinate, you are an idiot. You don't respect yourself. You clearly don't love yourself, and your dignity means nothing to you. And Yahuwah not going to do that. So why are you? And that doesn't mean you have to disparage that individual. That doesn't mean you have to say anything in response other than that's not a place that I should be. Because if I have to be subordinate to anyone in a place where I have dominion, meaning rule, and he that rule amongst men must be what, civic? So if I'm ruling justly and I'm adding benefit and value, man, I'm not going to be third, fourth, fifth, or sixth up in this hole. Don't even make common sense. And you know what happens if you're willing to do that? That woman not going to respect you. And them churn ain't either. And them churn ain't either. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds good on paper until you start doing it. And then you're wondering why these people hold you in contempt, or they're not grateful, or they're not appreciative, or they don't respect you, or they don't honor you. Because you don't respect and honor yourself. So why would they? See, it sounds harsh. I'm just telling you reality of life. You ain't got to agree with it, but you know you done seen it. We talk about a lot of things that, oh, that's not right. But when you've seen it in real life and you didn't see it work out well for anybody. Like I told you, I ain't never in my entire days moved in no woman's house. You know why? Because I never observed it working well for anyone in my entire days. And you know what I learned to do early? I resolved myself that I would never do that. Not because there's something wrong with her, but this is not going, I haven't seen this work out well for anybody in the long term. I didn't need to know the intimate details. I seen the result. I seen the result. No, I'm not doing that. Now, see, I mentioned that lady to give you the contrast of with Yahuwah. Because if you want to be like, I'm going to put my job before you. Remember, because he said, don't get them idols in your heart, Ezekiel 14. I'm going to put my children before you. I'm going to put my desires before you. I'm going to put school before you. He's not going to allow you to benefit off of him, and he not first. He told you don't put no other God before me. He has to be first. He's not going to allow that to happen. So, man, you have to follow suit. But people get in their mind, oh, you're choosing this man over your children. No, you choose a man over your children if you allow this man to do negative things in the household or this, that, there, and the third to them children. But to say, no, this is my husband and he is priority, that's common goddamn sense. You know what I'm saying? Just the same way if you stand up and look at your children, if you had kids or y'all have kids together, this is my wife. She is priority over you. There's a reason why he said a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife and be one flesh. He did not say you cleave to your son or daughter and y'all be one flesh. That means your spouse is priority over your children. And if you put your children before your spouse, you are a terrible spouse. You know what I'm talking about? And if you think making your spouse a priority means neglecting your children, that means you're probably an even worse adult. Because I don't know how anybody hear that, and that means the children get neglected, which means you probably already want to neglect them children. You said the difference of leadership today versus the past. Kings used to ride in the battle now, and the president, the head of state, send orders, and that is a fact. That is a fact. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, which Joe Biden can't shoot nobody anyway, he's too old. Barack Obama. Man, I sent y'all that video. That nigga Barack Obama crazy, man. That man say all young boys need to hang out with a punk. I put that in the chat, man. Or did I? I know I sent it to Fat Boy. Fat Boy was like, this nigga crazy. Oh, no, I didn't make it. Hold on, I put it in there because D had something to me, but I had already looked at it. I thought I sent it, but I didn't. Hold on, I got you. Yeah, I had seen it on Threads. There's former President Barack Obama says boys need gay friends because his gay professor helped him become a man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Say fact, those husbands be hating life when they submit to that. That's a fact. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had to hang with a sidewalk sister to become a man, I don't want to be no man. I don't even want to be no man. I sure don't. I don't think it's ever been a time in my life where I thought, you know what? Hanging with a sissy sound real good right now. Now, see, some people be like, that's homophobic. I don't have an improper fear of a homosexual. You know what I'm talking about? But nigga, I ain't finna be kicking it with one. And you know why? Because our lives don't align. It's the same way that I wouldn't be hanging with a nigga who is a serial philanderer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna be kicking with a dude who could just consistently and constantly have sex with other women other than his wife and she don't know nothing about it. I'm not finna hang with him either. You know what I'm talking about? So it ain't just no sissy, because nigga, we don't compute in nothing. I'm not gonna be hanging with no known whoremonger. You sitting around here trying to hit every woman you see. I don't live like that. So what am I hang with you for? I don't use drugs. Why would I be hanging with junkies? I don't drink. Why would I be hanging out with alcoholics? Like, some of that stuff don't even make sense. Our lives are not congruent. Ain't got nothing to do with him. I don't care what he do. It ain't none of my business. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't think people realize that, man. I don't give a damn what a punk do. Why would I care? I don't care what a bulldagger do. It ain't my business. And I ain't got to answer to God for it. But yeah, man, I put it in there. That nigga said that for real, though. See, I was engaged and living together for 3 years, 8 months, one Sunday in church, in the restaurant. I don't know what that means. But nevertheless, yeah, that's what he said, man. Barack say, man, if you want your son to become a man, man, he need to hang with a punk. Punky Brewster. That nigga crazy, though. I don't and see, if you had a gay professor and you felt like your professor helped shape He said that I'll read it again. This is a true story. I think what her name is. I think Michelle was sitting right next to him. Former President Barack Obama says boys need gay friends because his gay professor helped him become a man. And I think more than anything, I don't think it's probably because the professor was gay. It was probably because of whatever class he was taking, the perspective that he was teaching on probably helped shape and form certain perspectives that he might have perceived were beneficial to him in his growth and development as a man, which I mean, most educators are going to have that influence. You know what I'm saying? In general, you know what I'm saying? In my humble opinion, irregardless of their sexual orientation. But I wouldn't definitely open my mouth and say, yeah, young boys need to have gay friends. Because when you have friends, you have mutual interests. You have some type of commonality that bonds you together. And I don't think most people have friends where they don't have any commonalities. Now, there's some men who are close with homosexual men. Sure, they are. And they might have commonalities outside of that. I don't think that I would ever move to the point to find out what those commonalities are because I don't have a desire to have you as a friend. And that's it. Because I'm not going to be hanging with you and be like, yeah, I got me and James going out tonight. Man, I don't want to be around this nigga, man. This nigga hanging with this nigga, kissing this nigga in the mouth. Man, I ain't on that, bro. This nigga tripping. You know what I'm talking about? I seen a grown man today, man, I done seen dress on, makeup on. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm gonna slap the fire at this nigga, man.
I see where people got mad because a dude came in with women's clothes on. The pastor picked him off the church. He was like, well, you need to leave. You need to come back with men's clothes on.
You need to come back with a man's clothes
like,
on.
Listen, I don't care what you do outside of here. When you come in this house,
yeah, you can't come in here like that. And I do the same thing, man. You can't be no grown man walking here dressed like no woman. Talking about you finna sit in here. Don't come at me talking about you got to come as you are.
That's what the woman was saying in the conversation. Like, that's not right.
It is right. But you know why people say it ain't right? Because they don't know what the words say. Because he couldn't come in the temple of Yahuwah dressed like that. People say, come as you are. That ain't nowhere in the book. That man ain't never said that. That man said, wash you, make you clean, and cease from doing evil from before my eyes. Man, you can't come in that man's temple and defy that.
That's a standard in here.
That man said, that's an abomination for you to dress up like a woman, boy. Boy, you got on undergarment. Boy, you got on pantyhose, boy. You came in here with a slip on. What you need a slip for? You got twigs and berries. Man, what's going on in here, man? This is some bull crap. You know what I'm talking about? But all jokes aside, man, once the preacher let somebody come in there like that, bro, that's the end of the whole organization. Because now they done seen the standard been lowered. See, I wonder where people get that from, come as you are. I don't know where they get it from, Misha, but somebody made it up. Because I done heard it my whole life. And I ain't never, before I knew anything about no Bible, I said, I ain't never seen that in there. Now, I hadn't read much Bible back then, but I said, I don't, shoot, man, y'all have mercy on us. So I remember my mom was like, you know, God say prayer for food and eating is blessed. And you know, my people raised me, don't take nobody's word for nothing, man. Go look it up and find it for yourself. I say, Mama, man, this book don't say that. She said, well, leave it the hell alone. I said, man, I ain't find that in here. You know what I'm saying? Say John Lennon snuck one in. See, I definitely heard it a lot in church. I say, even if y'all come as you are, it doesn't mean you stay as you are. There ain't no coming as you are. Even when coming to Yahuwah, you can't come as you are. That man say you got to put that stuff away. You know what I'm saying? It leads to a bad mentality, honestly. But come on, man. Luke 14 and 27. They apply come as you are to even if you're dressed scandalously as a woman, it's okay because you come. See, you can't even do that because there's a standard. You can't come in the sanctuary dressed scantily clad. They supposed to turn you around. This is a house. Remember, he said you ought to know how to conduct yourself in the house of God. People feel like it don't matter. Baby, you can't come in here with your top boob, your side boob, your bottom boob. You can't come in here like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't come in. Oh, yeah, you talking about the song for sure. Yeah. Crazy part was that song ain't even about no. He talking about Nirvana had a song called "Come as You Are." And the great part is that song ain't even about church, because I know that song because I listened to them when I was younger. That song is about not being fake, because he say, "Come as you are, as I would want you to be." That song about if you step to me, keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? That's really what the song about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, yeah, you ain't supposed to let that woman come in there with them extra tight pants on, extra tight skirt on. You know what I'm saying? I can see your birth canal. But okay, you can't come in here with your camel toe out. Can't come in here with no leggings on, baby. You can't do that in here. You can't come in here with a skirt so short we can see the cuff of your cheeks. Your thighs all out. You can't come in here like that, baby. That ain't no different than, baby, you can, hey, come on, bro. You can't come in here with them pants that tight. Boy, your nuts finna bust. Boy, you can't come in there like that. It's one thing if I know you got some mass on your shirt. Sir, your shirt is so small I can see your nipples, cuz. I can see your heartbeat.
Yeah, when it comes out of that, it started off as come as you are, meaning how you are, not how you dress. It was like, if you're a sinner, come as you are so that you can be changed. It developed saying, oh, come. How I want to do that. At my church, if you came in dressed like that when you was a visitor or not, you need a handkerchief?
He said, I see that junk all the time at the courthouse. My God, today. Yeah, you can't come in there like that. Oh, I could go for that. I wouldn't know. I ain't never been in there. But yeah, man, you can't come in here like that. Listen, come on, baby. Oh, this ain't right. Shoot, it ain't wrong either, ho. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna get up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? Because you weren't gonna be able to go before God and dress like that. Say the praise team has lowered the dress code as well as some of the young pastors, especially the Bible, because they wear holy jeans. Yeah, you can't let them come in there like that, man. You say, I saw a video of praise dancers wearing leggings and crop tops dancing seductively. Ain't no way in the world you in the sanctuary with a crop top on. What else see your belly button for? That was somebody supposed to say, somebody boo this man. Start throwing tomatoes and eggs at them children, man. But that's because people are more concerned with compromising to have people there. Because they more concerned with, we just got to get them here. So then there's no standard, and then they don't have to do anything, so they don't care. They said they're supposed to bring out the shawl or cloth to cover. Exactly. They ain't never supposed to have it on.
No, I think I'm saying if there was a visitor, that's what they do. Bring out the shawl. Because you got a clothes, I'm gonna turn you away, but they're gonna be like, I'm
gonna turn you away. I ain't gonna lie to you, baby. You need to go home and put on clothes. I don't even know why you thought it was cool for you to come in here dressed like that. But I say I'd be respectful about it. I don't know where you used to be in. Mm-hmm. I don't know where you've been. I don't know what they allow or don't allow. But baby, we don't do that here. And I don't mean no disrespect, but I can't let you come in here like this. You know why? Because you see them 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 women over there, they don't do that. And if I let you do that, then what that means to the standard that they uphold. So you know what I'm saying? So I can't lower that based off of these women hold to that. And that's disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? That's disrespectful to, and you have to look at it. There's a way that you can communicate that. You know what I'm saying? They said they used to give a woman a cloth if her skirt showed her knees when she sat down. No, I've heard people tell stories like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not doing that personally. I don't have no problem with anybody who would do that. But no, baby, you got to go somewhere and put on some clothes. Yeah, you can't come in here like that. And like I said, it's more so for the women and the mothers who in there who hold to that standard. In my humble opinion, that's not fair to them. You know what I'm saying? Guest or not, that's not fair to them. You know what I'm saying? If they know, because they need to know that this is how you behave in the house of God. So, baby, this is what it is. Because guess what? You can sit back and say you want to let these people in there, but boy, you're going to have to answer to God for how you ran his house. Now, you want to go out like Saul and you more concerned with the people, or you going to stick to what it is? I'm going to stick to what it is personally. Where we at with it? Luke 14 or what? We got
27.
Go with it.
And whosoever do not bear his stake and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you intending to build a tower, sit not down first and count the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it.
Which one of you did not sit down and count the cost if you would have sufficient to finish it? Go ahead.
Lest haply after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him.
Mocking.
Saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Not able to
For
finish.
which king go to make war against another king, sit not down first and consult whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that come against him with 20,000. Or else while the other is yet a great way off, he send an embassage and desire conditions of shalom. So likewise, whosoever he be of you, and forsake not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple.
You can't be his disciple. Back to Psalms 50, man, verse 4. We ain't hear what I want. That's a serious matter right there. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to sit down and count the cost. Finding out you an Israelite is not sitting down counting the cost. You know what I'm saying? Because I done met a lot of people for, we the Israelites. And they found out what they had to pay and they didn't want to pay it. They didn't want to pay it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of people don't want to pay it. You know what I'm saying? And that just is what it is. It just is what it is. It's no different than with hustling, and I ain't talking about illegal hustling. You know what I'm saying? Because in this day and time, everybody wants everybody to be an entrepreneur, but some people sat down and count the cost and say, that's not for me. And others sat down and count the cost and say, I can pay that cost. You know what I'm saying? And that's an individual decision with each person, man. Everybody is not willing to make the sacrifices and do the work necessary to achieve what this person is willing to do. It don't make them anything other than they're not willing to do that. That's it. But with the word, that's like a death door. That's like a death door. You got to make sure that you sit down and you count if you can pay that. Can you pay that covenant by sacrifice? Can you forsake everything that you have? And for some things, it's not necessarily that you have to abandon them, but you have to be willing to. You know what I'm saying? Some people, when they get faced with that decision that they got to let this go and let that go, or let them go, or her go, or he go, they don't want to go. It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But come on with it, man. Psalm 50 and 4.
He shall call to Shamahim from above, and to the Arats, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And Shamahim shall declare his righteousness, for Elohim is judge himself, Selah.
That's right.
Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Yasharal, and I will testify against you. I am Elohim, even your Elohim.
That's right.
I will not reprove you for your sacrifices.
I will not correct you for your sacrifice.
Or your burnt offerings to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of your house.
He said, I ain't taking no bullock.
Nor he goats out of your folds.
What else?
For every beast of the forest is mine. And the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I
wouldn't tell you.
For the world is mine and the fullness thereof.
So he let you know, man, I don't care nothing about that. He said, I ain't took none of that out your hive.
Will I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto Elohim thanksgiving and pay your vows unto the Most High.
So what he wants you to offer him, he said, I'd rather you offer me thanksgiving than to offer me a bull and a goat. He said, I'd rather you obey me than to bring me a sacrifice. So he don't care about that. That's not what he take pleasure in. You know why men like to focus on that? Because it don't take nothing from your heart for you to do it. Back to 2 Chronicles chapter 7. Verse 15. And that's what people prefer. You know what I'm saying? Something that doesn't cause them to be introspective. Something that doesn't cause them to make a new heart and a new spirit. Something that doesn't cause them to sacrifice. People want easy. You want all the reward, but none of the things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? And if you want eternal life, sacrifice come with it. I said before, man, I've said it plenty of times, said it again. Man, anything worth having, you're going to have to make a sacrifice, man. Going to have to. This aspect that's, look here, man, some of the richest people in the world are not sitting at home with their kids and their wives all day, every day. They not. And I'm just mentioning that because that's where most people mind go when they like, man, look here, man. How you think you just get some money and it's over? Now you got Elon Musk type of money. Now you would probably take something catastrophic for you to go bankrupt. But for the most part, those men are addicted to that purpose, and that's something you got. Man, look here, man, and you see this with old people. Man, once they stop doing stuff, bro, and they just sit at the house, they die. More specifically, men. So men have to perpetually keep going. He got to be doing something. What you want your son to learn? Man, don't trust no nigga who cry by he got to get up and go to work. Nobody want to hear that junk, nigga. That man cursed you, telling you that's what you were going to do. And you a man, you lazy bastard. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear that, bro. Man, get your maggot behind up and go do something with yourself, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You hear nigga that's woman conversation, bro. But you want to be dainty, nigga? The hell you got going on? That junk weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got to be out here doing no manual labor. Man, you don't want to do nothing? Man, why we got to work to do this here? We should be laying up. That man ain't never told you nowhere you'll be laying up doing nothing. You sorry. Man, look here, man. He said, Dad, he said one amputation, he was still going. My aunt pressured him to get his other leg amputated. Yeah, I mean, because that's innate in a man, man. You meet a man who don't want to do nothing, that nigga busted. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you. And I ain't talking about doing something for the purposes of accruing large amounts of wealth or riches. You know what I'm saying about? He don't want to do nothing. You just want to sit up, talking about you want to sit on the beach and eat fruit. I'll bust you upside the head with a coconut, you ignorant bastard, you. What's wrong with you, boy? Ain't no woman of your children. Ain't nobody gonna respect that. Your son, look at my daddy, fat, funky behind every day, sitting on the couch, smelling like greased chicken. So dudes think princes and kings sitting around playing with themselves. Yeah, a lot of people do, because a lot of people have no idea about reality. Yeah, man, because it's more so about the purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's about something that keeps you motivated to want to get up every day. You know what I'm saying? For some people, it's money, but for some people, it's depending on what they're doing, it's not about the money. The money is just a byproduct of what they're doing. You know what I'm talking about? But I got to be doing something. That junk is crazy, man. Yeah, you don't trust no nigga who just say he want to sit around and do nothing every day. That nigga they ain't hitting on nothing. You hear me? Go ahead, man. 2 Chronicles 7:15. That nigga ain't hitting on nothing.
Say, now my eyes shall be open, and my ears attend unto the prayer that is made in this place.
Mm-hmm.
For now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually.
And as for you,
if you will walk before me, as David your father walked,
and do according
to all that I have commanded you,
shall observe
my statutes and my judgments,
then will I establish
the throne of your Malkuth, according as I have covenanted with David your father,
saying,
there shall not fail you a man to be ruler in Yasharal.
But if you turn away,
forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you,
and shall go and serve
other gods,
and worship
them,
then will I pluck them up
by the roots out of my land, which I have given them, and this house, which I have sanctified for my name,
I will what?
Cast out of my sight,
and will make it
to be a proverb and a byword among all nations.
Now, how do you know that he took this house and cast it out of his sight? My Elohim, why have you forsaken me? He have cast his house out of his sight. And did he not become a byword and a proverb when they went to mocking him and deriding him, saying, if you be the son of Elohim, come down from this tree right now. But let's continue. And this house,
which is high,
and he obviously shall be called the son of the highest. It shall be a what?
An astonishment.
Everyone that passed by it.
So that he shall say, why have Yahuwah done thus unto this land and unto this house?
He said, if he be the son of God, right? That's what he said. And it shall be answered because
they forsook Yahuwah, Elohim of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, and laid hold on other gods and worshiped them and served them.
So why did you see Hamashiach up on that tree getting sacrificed? Because since they forsook God, he forsook that house. So if a sicker son say your father told you a man don't work, you don't eat, that what Paul said, and basically that would come from the law because that's what he said Adam would have to do. But then that's just the reality. Even if we wasn't in the word, nigga, how do you expect to consume something when you don't do nothing? You know what I'm saying? That junk there crazy. It's a lot of niggas like that out here, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, this ain't about being rich or like, oh, I got to make $1 million or this, that, then the third. Nigga, you don't want to do nothing. Well, I've heard several grown men be like, man, we wasn't made to live and just to pay bills and this, that, then the third. I'd be like, nigga, I don't want to hear that, John, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I promise you I don't want to hear that. It's just an aspect of just for me that's not even something a man should be saying out of his mouth. Now I get it, you feel like, oh, we shouldn't have to pay bills, but then I would pause and hit the brakes and say, what make you believe that way? So you think that you should just be able to consume things and it don't matter. That's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you look at certain governmental things, okay, if you feel like, oh, they should give us this for free. But that's mainly because in general, you say you heard that talk last week. My God, today, and I already know who said it to you. I already know who said it to you. A lot of things we don't be realizing the cost that it takes to be able to provide it. Case in point, do JEA probably overcharge people for electricity? Absolutely. But that's because they have no competition. But also at the same token, I don't think the average person know how much money goes into them to be able to give electricity to such an area as large as this. Like it ain't free. You know what I'm saying? There's costs involved with consistently and constantly producing electricity and power to 1 million plus people. You know what I'm saying? Then that's what I would get to, and that's the biggest part. And to maintain the infrastructure, and then to pay the people who will maintain the infrastructure, and to pay the people who have to come in and troubleshoot when things happen. Just like when people be crying when the hurricane come and power go out. Like, nigga, what you think that junk can just be put back up in a matter of minutes? That's not how that works. But because most people are not informed, they have no idea what goes into that. You know what I'm saying? So you know it's stuff that go into that. Same thing with water. Outside of that, the government don't really give you nothing else. Like we were talking about healthcare last week or a week or two ago. How healthcare is free in Canada. But when it comes to certain things that Canada might rank high on, compared to the U.S. on other stuff, like you don't get quick access to healthcare in Canada like that. You might have to wait 4, 5, 6, 7 months. That's why a lot of them come across the border and come here because you might have to pay more. Now your access is lesser here than it is there, but you don't have to wait. And then truth be told, most niggas, niggas already know the play. You just show up, bill me, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? What you gonna do? Ruin my credit? My credit was bad before I got here. Because they have to see, depending on what the element is, they have to deal with you. They can't tell you, nah, we're not gonna do that, depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying? You say usually work be something most of us start to come in love is, man, it's time to assuming that we get paid for. Yeah, man, a lot of these niggas lazy, a lot of these niggas hold, man. A lot of these dudes just want to sit at the house, man, and touch on themselves. But also, all jokes aside, though, that's just a man who hasn't figured out what his rhyme, reason, and purpose as a man is. So he think the best thing to do is just to sit around and do nothing. There are men who have multitudes of purposes of things that they do, and they don't necessarily may get paid a lot of money to do it. You have men who are researchers. Most men who are researchers on a certain level, those men are not getting wealthy by doing that particular work, but that's what drives them. That's why I really mention that. When a man go to talk like that, he don't have anything that drives him. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? That's unfortunate completely. Because that's usually a man he would probably gonna want to be up under his old lady all day. Because he don't have anything to drive him. And then because that's what, depending on the type of woman you're dealing with, most women when they see that is what genders admiration. because you see the drive and whatever it is. And again, it's not necessarily nothing monetary. But now, nigga, you don't nothing get you going in the morning, man. Nothing. You mean nothing. You mean if you could just sit around and do nothing, how you gonna take care of yourself? Case in point, some people feel like housing should be free. Only way housing would be free is if you built it. Do you know what I'm saying? I was just telling Jimmy this other day because he didn't really realize that way. He was like, people be selling their house. I said, a lot of people be selling their people house because they can't pay the property taxes or don't want to pay the property taxes because it's not your house. Because, DeSantis wanted to get rid, he would like to get rid of property taxes. He said, but at the same token, because Florida doesn't have a state income tax, sales tax and property taxes is what pays for the multitude of different services throughout this state. And the average person don't realize that. At the same time, I'm not averse to that inkling, because we read the story Telvin Smith. For those of y'all who ain't from Jacksonville, you don't know who that is. He played linebacker for the Jaguars. He had to retire because he was messing with young girls. But nevertheless, he lost his house in Queens Harbor. And you know how, if you don't know what Queens Harbor is an elite subdivision in the city. Very, very expensive homes, multi-million-dollar homes. Most Jaguar players stay either in Queens Harbor or in Deerwood. You know what I'm talking about? Some stay on the beach. Breck Border stayed on the beach because he was a different type of dude. But for the most part, it's expensive homes in Deerwood and Queens Harbor. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, he owned his home because this man ain't played in damn near 10 years and he still was there. But they say he lost his house because of HOA dues not being paid in HOA liens. Lost his house. They put that whole up for auction. And he made a bid to cover what he owed, but somebody outbid him, lost it. Nigga should have paid it off the top. But that's the point of, even with all that, you don't own your house because somebody can take it. But you know what that's the cost of? Not living in your own land, under your own rule, under your own God. That's come along with it. So don't complain about the consequences of the sins that you committed. And you just deal with it, nigga. No, I'm talking about, shoot. Haggai, man, 2 and 5, man. 2 and 4. And that's great. That's just how I see it. Everybody don't got to see it the way that I see it, man. You can see it however you want. That's just my perspective on the matter. You know what I'm talking about?
Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith Yahuwah, and be strong, O Yahushua, son of Jehozadak, the high priest, and be strong, all you people of the land, saith Yahuwah, and work. For I am with you, saith Yahuwah of hosts. According to the word that I covenanted with you when you came out of Egypt, so my ruach remain among you, fear you not.
Because he told you, he riding with you now. For thus saith
Yahuwah of hosts, yet once it is a little while.
And I will
shake Shamahims and your rats.
And the sea.
And the dry.
And I will shake
all nations.
And the desire
of all nations shall come.
And I will fill this house
with esteem, saith Yahuwah of hosts.
The silver
is mine.
The gold
is mine.
Saith
Yahuwah of hosts. The esteem of this latter house
shall be greater
than of the former.
The esteem of this
latter house
shall be greater
than of the former,
saith
Yahuwah of hosts. And in this place will I give shalom.
Now go back to Daniel 9:25, right? Because of course he's referring to that the house that Daniel 9:25 says is getting built is going to be greater than the house that Solomon built. But we know if we look under the surface that the body that Yahushua, he said, destroy this temple and I rebuild it in 3 days. That temple that got rebuilt in 3 days was of greater esteem than the latter house, which is also showing you how the new covenant is of greater esteem of the latter house. Oh, they don't want to hear that. We talked about that last week. Them niggas don't want to hear that. They be like, this is nigga tripping. That's why they dudes rather have fringes on than the Ruach HaKodesh. You know what I'm talking about? I've been told you this here, man. Niggas looking down, you ought to be looking up. If you got to look down not to see him, man, your heart ain't in the right place, man. You don't need to be looking down in the cloth. I better not sleep with Brother Johnson, wife. You need to look at some fringes for that, bro. That should have already been in your heart, my nigga. I heard a dude today say he was talking about polygyny is a package deal. No, he's against it. But it's how he described it. He was like, he made this up. I'm not even gonna lie. He made this up. He was like, when you got married, the Levites published throughout all the land of Israel who you were married to. I'm like, no, they didn't. I don't say that nowhere. That's not their job. Nigga, this is not like the announcement section in your local newspaper. You know what I'm talking about? This ain't the Daily Record that shows that. Because I've been in this on my mind. I say this because you know there's a lot of people upset that they put out there where Travis Hunter bought his house at. And I'm like, this is how I know you niggas don't do nothing because that's public record, bro. Do you know if you buy a house, man, that's public record? When I say public record, they have to legally and lawfully publish that. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about at the courthouse. Mm-hmm. When they go file that deed at the courthouse, bro, that's public record. You literally have a newspaper here in Jacksonville. I would wager whatever city you live in, they got the same thing there. It's called the Jack's Daily Record. Hell, you could go on the Jack's. You didn't even got to buy the Jack's Daily Record. You know what I'm talking about? You can go on Jack's Daily Record website, man, and you can pull up every housing transaction in the state. In the city, excuse me. Do you know you can go on Duval County website and pull up anything? It's public record, bro. I will say one thing about Travis Hunter. He's a smart man. You know how he bought his house? He didn't buy his house like an LLC like other people be telling you. He bought his house in a trust. Mm-hmm. You're a smart man. So the Levites used to run a program on the PBS station announcing marriages. That's what he said though. Because he was like, if you practice polygyny, you could run the likelihood of committing adultery by having sex with another man's wife. And I'm like, I don't even know how that happens. Because 9 times out of 10, you marry someone, she's going to be local. If she didn't say she had a husband, how you living around people and you don't know that they married? Somebody gonna walk up and be like, hey, that's such and such wife. But I understood the point he was trying to make. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, but that part, he made that up. He makes a lot of stuff up, but so is life. Go ahead.
Say, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah.
So that takes us back to all the stuff we read about Cyrus. Go ahead.
Shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. The street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary.
Now that's good, right? Because we just wanted to establish all of that. So you can understand what's going on in Jeremiah 30 beforehand, because that needed to be done. Jeremiah chapter 30, man, verse 3.
For lo, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Yasharal and Yehudah, saith Yahuwah, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it.
And these
are the words that Yahuwah spake concerning Yasharal and concerning Yehudah.
For thus saith Yahuwah,
we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of shalom.
Pause. Daniel 12:1. Now, you know, Mashiach told you hear wars and rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. This is the beginning of sorrows. And then this man tell you, and remember, trouble means distress. Trouble. You know what I'm talking about? Straits. No, so then he said, you'll be hated by all men for my name's sake. And what else did he mention? And if it wasn't for the elect's sake, no flesh would be saved. That means everybody would die. This man would kill everybody. Go ahead.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which stand for the children of the people. And there shall
be
a time of trouble,
like as
never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
So everybody whose name is in the genealogy shall be delivered. Now this is Daniel telling you that there'll be a time of trouble. Tell him what trouble means. And that's what I remember the first time I went in the county to hear them boys singing, and boy love to sing "Trouble Don't Last Always." I said it's gonna last always for you niggas because you going to prison.
That's Sarah. That's
same word.
Tightness, trouble.
Niggas be thinking they go to jail. You can sing to Jesus your way out them 20 years. Boy, you going to prison. You know what I'm talking about? That man don't want to hear none of that you talking about. Boy, you going to jail.
Hey man, look down. You did the crime.
You going to jail. He said, I forgive, but I by no means clear the guilty. You need E20. You know what I'm talking about? But you need the dub, boy.
on and serve.
Go on and serve him, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what you did. No, because I told you, right? I think I told y'all before, right? I was in an HO dorm, which means this is a habitual offender dorm. Most of the people in there in Florida, if you commit 3 felonies in a 5-year span, you get classified as a habitual felony offender. And this causes for a sentence enhancement. We don't have a 3 strikes law. You know, 3rd strike, you get life. It's just a sentence enhancement. You know what I'm saying? So if the felony carried 15 years, you can get 30. Most of these dudes were habitual offenders. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now they want to get in the Bible. This really happened. This really happened. Nigga name, I don't say his whole name, but the nigga named William. You know what I'm saying? His last name is a fruit. You know what I'm talking about? No, seriously. No, there's no, ain't no first offender law here. So he was in amongst them people, and he thinking, you know what I'm saying? And he went to court, they gave him 10. Now, he was in there on like his 4th or 5th sales charge. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that he done sold to undercover police on multiple occasions. Man, that nigga came back, he said, man, how I know this real? How I know this real? How I even know God real? How I know this book real? I'm like, cause you called 10? You didn't think that was the blessing? Nigga, you could have got 30. That nigga came back snapping. You understand me? How I know this real? I'll never forget that long as I live, man, because he was dead. I'm talking about he was in service every day singing, trouble don't last all that. That cracker gave that nigga that dime. That nigga say, boy, I ain't fine. I say, well, boy, 8.5 better than 20 is 3 that you was going to have to do on them 30. Yeah. You know, but that I'm using that as an example of just because people deal with it, that don't mean that's what they own. But come on, man. Matter of fact, we're going to have to stop because I got to use the bathroom. I ain't going to lie to you. So, hallelujah for y'all who shot in the word. Y'all willing? I'll probably just switch this to the Jacob's Trouble and we'll switch over to that, man. And I can still work in the other elements that's in there because dealing with Jacob's Trouble, deliverance is attached to that. So, it's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's not a separation. But I appreciate y'all. Bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua, man. Keep that road. Just weigh and consider the things that we got to establish why the house was being rebuilt and the underlying testimony that was contained in that, because that is of very great importance. But again, I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. Y'all keep standing firm, standing strong, man. Hold fast. And y'all willing till tomorrow.